Over the weekend, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City hit theaters. It wasn't playing in a theater near me. I had to drive 3 hours to watch it. And on my travels, what? Wait, whoa, what? A 6? IGN gave it a 6? Ooh, they made 7 movies already, didn't they? Thought they were gonna make this one better. Thought they were gonna undo those 7 movies they've already done to fix the genre, to fix it, to revive it, to make it up to the people who wanted to see the real story on screen. Oh, let's talk about the movie. To begin with, I'm not going to be talking about little things they did here and there for plot, like, for instance, Chris being the one to fight William or Claire being in the truck from the beginning of the second game. The first thing I have written down on my little note sheet, I've noticed that a few people in this movie, and I think Wesker was one of them, kept referring to Raccoon City as just a small town. In fact, I don't think I heard one character even mention that they're in a gigantic city. The whole plot of the entire second and third game are throughout the city. It wasn't just Wesker either. I heard 3 or 4 other people just randomly throw out there that they want to get out of this small town. Have you seen the size of that police station, or how it used to even be a museum in this big city? Do you think that a small town with a small police station and a small population, in the event that it gets infected by a zombie virus, would have an entire fucking nuke dropped on it? The entire title sequence to Resident Evil 2 is showing off the gigantic city. Now, you can call that nitpicking. I don't actually care too much, right? I'm just making a point. It's technically just a word choice that could say town, and they really just mean city, alright? Let's continue. Towards the beginning of the movie, we see Claire break into Chris's house. I was very, very surprised to see Chris was there. Chris was not missing. There is no plot line of Claire even looking for her brother, alright? But even more jarring, alright? I understand they're doing things for plot, okay? But what drove me under even more? What irks me, if you will? They used what I think was a reference to the original Resident Evil on the wrong character, coming from the wrong character in the wrong moment.
Jill, here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
They had opportunities for this to happen when it was supposed to, but they chucked it in this instance instead. Chris telling Claire that she's good at picking locks. There's a golden opportunity to use this just when it was supposed to have happened. They enter the mansion later in the game, all the right characters are there, even an extra one for some fucking reason. Good job referencing things for the fans, man. They did it alright in terms of casting characters. Chris looks like Chris, Claire looks like Claire. Even the truck driver in the beginning eating his burger looks like the truck man eating his burger. Hell, William looks exactly like William, and I don't know how they found somebody who looks like him. They even did a good job with Carlos's outfit. Yeah, my man Carlos, sitting in the diner. I don't know why you're in this movie. You're from the third game. You don't even belong in this movie. I don't know why you're... Oh my god, that's Leon! Everybody was casted so perfect. They did a really good job until you get to Leon. Listen, I don't care too much, alright? Leon's a nice, clean-shaven guy. He's a little bit dirty blonde. He's being played by a guy with some facial hair and long, darker hair. I can get by that. I'm not gonna nitpick. But we do get an issue when this character looks exactly like another character from the franchise. I'm even putting a side-by-side on screen. They look the exact same. You know what? Yes, this is the Leon section of the video. What did they do to my main man, Leon? Leon is the character who on his very first day, he's on his way to Raccoon City and the outbreak begins. He navigates his way through a zombie-infested police station with almost no power the entire time, stands 10 feet away from a helicopter crash, to then outrun the giant mutant that leaves it, and then kill it later on. This man fights a giant crocodile in the sewers. In the movie, however, Leon is transferred to Raccoon City for being an absolute dumbass. He accidentally shot his partner and got transferred to Raccoon City, where he'll then pretty much just be fucked with and yelled at by his chief, who, by the way, in this one isn't even like a weird pedophile or whatever he was in the original, which I don't mind him not being a creep, actually. I don't want to see that happen on the big screen, I'm not gonna lie. By the way, that's not all. Leon then proves them right by falling asleep at the main desk listening to fucking music. It's safe to say that this dickhead is not the same dickhead who saves the president's daughter 6 years later in Resident Evil 4. Leon's my favorite character, man. Why'd you gotta ruin it? Oh! On a side note, all the locations in the movie actually look pretty damn close to the locations in the games. On top of that, I only have one flaw with the entire scene of them in the mansion. It's pretty good. I want to mostly skip that, except they do the classic zombie reveal from the first ever game, which would be better if we didn't already see 20 zombies prior. That first zombie in the original game is supposed to send shivers down your goddamn spine, but we already saw so many zombies previously, it doesn't do anything for you. That isn't even fucking necessary in the movie. Oh, and I was looking out for each and every character I knew, and Anna doesn't even exist in this movie. I think she lives through Wesker or something, like they worked in her character in Wesker's betrayal, something like that. I don't know. Oh, I know what comes out of that helicopter. JK, Mr. X isn't even in the movie. But don't worry about that, because now we're in the famous jail scene where the guy that Leon's talking to holds a gun up to him, apparently, and gets glenned through the wall. Excuse me? That doesn't happen either, it's a zombie? Oh. Another instance where it would have been pretty cool to work in the original story. The chief is in the parking garage fighting off the dogs, which, by the way, thank you for fighting off the dogs for me, dude. He's about to die when Claire intervenes, and Leon aims his gun at her. In this exact moment, I was thinking to myself, oh, it's all lining up, he's gonna say the line, and then he didn't. Instead, the scene ends with the chief telling him to put his gun down, and in the end, he's just the butt end of another joke of him being a shitty rookie. Come on, man, that would have been a good time to put the reference in, alright? You know, don't shoot. Duck shoots a zombie right behind her. Would have been that fucking simple, dude. In the end, they all had a very easy time fighting William, much easier than I did on hard mode. I actually expected to see a lot more stuff in this movie. I was watching out for every single thing I could point out from my childhood, alright? But instead, before I even knew it, they were on the final train to end the movie. They were ready to end the movie, and I wasn't done. I was still looking out for Easter eggs, but they were done with it. They were on the train. It was ending. My final notes are, they did a good job working 2 games together. They moved some things around. They did include lots of stuff. They did a great job mashing 2 whole video games together. They even went out of their way to take puzzles out of the police station and put them in the orphanage so they can include little Easter eggs from the orphanage. Wow. Now please, with all that being said, we've seen it on the big screen. Please, stop milking this franchise.